Another KPC live. It is an emergency live, a pop live, an unexpected live, a surprise live for you guys. The Cortis hate is getting out of control right now, and I just felt like addressing it through my live stream because it's such a big topic right now, and I thought a lot of people might be interested. As you might know, I've been following Cortis for a while now, and they're one of my favorite K-pop groups out there. I really think they have the potential to be as big as, I don't know, one of the biggest groups in the future, and they're doing a great job right now. Their music is really just fresh. They're really creative at such a young age. Young creator crew, shout out to them. And yeah, like I've been on the internet for the past 2 days, and I've noticed a lot of hate getting thrown at Cortis, and I was like, yeah, this is unfair. This is just too much. And I felt like, addressing the situation, letting you guys know what's happening, what Korean people are saying about this. And I don't think it's like a Korean versus international issue. Some could see it in that perspective. But at the same time, I do think there is a little bit of essence and a little bit of context that I might be able to shed light upon through this little session. It's not going to be that long. Um, like the series of events. There are a few trigger points, there are a few lyrics and stuff that we might touch upon. I might translate the Korean comments for you guys and let you know the significance of, yeah, why people are mad and the criticism behind it. So, anyways, if you're watching this right now, if you're the replay gang, and if you want to skip on to the news, the meat, before the salad, let's start the stream at the 3 minute point. So yeah, skip to the 3 minute point. I'll just directly go through the situation. But for now, we already have 45 people in the chat. Hello, everybody. Just before you go on, could you hit that like button so that more people can join on the stream? And hello, everybody. Toyland, what's going on? Slav says, I love their music so much. Yeah, I know, right? They are really talented people. They are really the young creator crew, and it's just so sad seeing them getting so much hate at the moment, right? Um, what's up, bro? I'm here to give you the tea. The tea. BTS is getting slammed lately. Yeah, what's been happening to all these hype groups, big hit music groups, right? Yeah, hello everybody. Hello, hello, welcome. Yeah, I'll start the news when we hit about 100 people. Oh, actually, I promise we'll start at the 3 minute mark, so let's go on already. All right. So, what is the tea behind Cortis right now? Well, yeah, basically, so if you have been following K-pop, you know that Cortis just surprisingly released two new songs, just like that, and one of them was Money, Money, Money. And there is a lyric controversy going on right now featuring the Korean indie artist named Roro, which is an artist I really love personally. She opened for the Coldplay concert I went to alongside with Twice. She was very, very talented musician live. I heard it and I almost teared up. Her songs are just amazing. And yeah, so anyways, you might be wondering like how do these come across? Like how do their paths cross each other, right? But yeah, it all started with their Cortis's Money, Money, Money lyrics. I'll explain what happened. But before we go on, just letting you guys know that there's going to be an after show right after this on Patreon. It's free. If you join right after this public stream, you can just sign up as a Patreon member. Just click sign up with Google, one click. And I'll be reacting to all of these over here. Money, Money, Money official visualizers, pack it up. and their live performances, and the first reaction of them reacting to their own videos. So all of this, it's going to be a Cortis special. I just love Cortis. I love BTS. I love Big Bang. I love Cortis. I think they're like my third favorite group right now. So yeah, it's going to be a Cortis special on Patreon. Don't forget to join Patreon if you want to join the after show. All right, so going back to the controversy. So basically, to sum it up, what happened is a phrase from the lyrics of their new song Money, Money, Money spread rapidly across the internet, including obviously X. And then, yeah, it spread through like Instagram, YouTube, and now everybody's talking about it. In Korea, especially. I don't know if it's hit the international K-pop communities yet, but yeah, everybody's talking about it, and there have been internal debates within the K-pop community, and also like news is covering it as well too. Like it's actually blown up into a legit big debate, which I do not understand personally. But let's dissect what's been happening. Okay, so like this is proof that is actually being covered by major media. I had to like, rub my eyes seeing this. Like YTN, like KBS, like these national news places are covering Cortis and their lyrics and Hanrodo. Like you see the title over here, it says between respect and rudeness. So yeah, the news is catching up to this. I guess this is just because they're two big artists, Cortis is like the rising rookie of the year, and like they're just like the big hit music monsters. And then we got Hanrodo. She's an amazing artist as well. She's loved by so many people. So yeah, it's hitting the news at the moment, and not only the news. I'm not exaggerating over here, because just go on YouTube and just I this is the Korean side of it, but like short after short is being produced by all these, I don't know, AI sites or people who want to get like AdSense money on YouTube. Like there are a lot of people nowadays in Korea, the economy's really bad, so they all want to be YouTubers, and they all clip these kind of viral moments and make it into like, summaries and what's going on right now with the controversy between Cortis and Hanrodo, like the lyric controversy. So like shout out or trolling, and like it's been explosive. Like this is just the tip of the iceberg. I literally checked it myself there, and there are hundreds and hundreds of these videos spreading on the internet. And this is just YouTube Shorts. Like I go on my Instagram feed, and the algorithm is just feeding me again and again of like the footages of Cortis and them being mocked at in the comments. So yeah, shit is bad right now. The situation is actually pretty big, as you can see. And the whole start of this is because of Cortis's footage over here, and when they released their new song, Money, Money, Money. And basically, their lyrics, for anybody who has listened to Cortis before, their lyrics are a little it's playful, and yeah, sometimes it doesn't really make sense. Sometimes it feels very Gen Z. A boomer like me, millennial actually, I'm just gonna say boomer. A boomer like me sometimes doesn't really understand the lyrics, but that's actually the fun of it. That's like Cortis's identity. They're really just raw, and they just really are like, they got like the teenager vibe, the cool vibes that's going on. Like I had no idea what the heck young meant, like young creator crew. And then nowadays, a lot of people around Korea are using the word young like, oh, you're a young nir means like you're old as F. So people like me who are in their 30s are technically a young nir. So yeah, like they've been trendsetters. They've been making all these trendy words, and like the red viral dances. Everyone's been covering it. Everyone knows who Cortis is. So yeah, like they've been known for these kind of unhinged lyrics, I guess. But like this one in Money, Money, Money. So to just say it in Korean, it's 난 될래 놀며 돈을 버는 사람 뽀로로. It means I want to be someone who makes money while I'm playing around, like who enjoys what I do, just like Bororo. And Bororo is like this penguin mascot of like this broadcasting network in Korea for an education broadcast. Anyways, he's like a viral meme too. So basically, they're like, yeah, I want to be someone who rakes in money while I'm playing, just like Bororo the penguin. And then the next lyrics say, 통장에 0을 0을 더해 마치 한로로. So it's like adding zeros to zeros in my account, just like 한로로. So this is the part that blew up. This is the part that became the controversy. So 통장에 0을 0을 더해 마치 means like adding zeros to my account, which means like if your net worth is like, I don't know, like $100, add another zero, it becomes $1,000, $10,000. That's my capacity of thinking, but Cortis already, they probably have like 100K, heck, I don't know, like $1 million in their bank account, and then add another zero to that, 10 mil, 100 mil, like that's what they're saying. Like they're flexing. The song's theme is about money, right? So they're adding zeros to their account, like Hanoro. And then people who don't know the context here, Hanoro has a song named Zero Plus Zero. So I'll explain that a little later, but like the lyric goes on. It's like a three-line lyric. It rhymes. And then this one became a controversy too because it says 전능해진다더니 다들 침을 호로록. So you see how like 뽀로로, 한로로, 호로록, they all rhyme, right? So it's like, yeah, writing lyrics like hip hop. And this specific lyric, this line here, 전능해진다더니 다들 침을 호로록, that means they said it would make me. Now, this is the controversial part. 전능 means like you have low IQ. That's the literal translation. But it could be on the lines of like, if you had to translate it to be safe, it could be stupid. But some people think it's like a derogatory term, and some people translate it as something along the lines as mentally retarded, like the R word, retarded. And then the next line say like, oh, but everyone's actually drooling. Yeah, like you mean I mean if you get a lot of money, a lot of people say you become dumb or something, but actually they're drooling over it, something like that, or over their status. I don't know. I can't really 100% interpret the meaning of the song, but yeah, that's basically the gist of it. And this is Hanoro over here. She's really cute. She's a really talented artist. And yeah, to just explain, going back to this lyric over here, naming her, Hanoro's name, the reason is, as I said, adding zeros to zeros, that's literally a reference and a wordplay to her signature song called Zero Plus Zero. And the controversy intensified because, like the context it was used, that first of all, the the song name itself, money money money, and the context it was used where like I want to be someone who makes money while I'm playing like bororo, and then I just add zeros to my account hanoro, and then you said I become stupid, but then everybody's drooling. It isn't really like the best set of lyrics. You know what I'm saying, right? It isn't really like a noble set of lyrics, right? Like, there's nothing wrong about it. It's playful and it's fun, right? So, but then like you get what I'm saying. The vibes are a little iffy, right? But okay, so there's a little bit more layer to this. Like it's not just that the context and the lyrics itself are just playful or they're iffy. So if you actually look at Hanoro's original song, the reference Zero Plus Zero, it's a really meaningful song. I love this song personally. I listen to it whenever I get depressed. When I am at my rock bottom, I've actually listened to her songs. It's a very touching and meaningful song because, it embodies a deep narrative and an emotional bond between, like yourself. And the meaning of the lyrics in this is basically it's adding zero to zero is like a metaphor for the emptiness and powerless of the youth, and like where two people, like it could be a lot of people have different interpretations of this song. It could be you and society, or you or yourself, and you or your lover, or whatever. Like Zero Plus Zero is basically like two people with deficiencies, like you have flaws and you are down and you feel low, and you try to fill each other's voids, and you're like soothing each other, and then you sometimes hurt each other too, and then you return to the original state. So it's like a very candid song about like a roller coaster of emotions, about like sad feelings and then recovery and then being sad again. And it got those like vibes of like like being fragile but also being soothed. It's like that kind of song. So it's a beautiful song. You really have to listen to it for yourself. I would say actually using this opportunity, go check out Hanoro. She's an amazing artist. She was actually nominated Artist of the Year of 2025, I think. Yeah. And her songs like 사랑하게 될 거야, Zero Plus Zero, all amazing. She had like appearances on major TV shows in Korea. She's the rising indie star. She did like what do you call it, duets, what, triplets, what do you call a three-person thing? She did a session with Chu and also Lee Soo-hyun from Angmyu, and then they all sang together. So beautiful. It really heals my heart. And so basically this song means a lot to a lot of people out there in Korea. So if you go to the music video of this song or any kind of performance of this song, you'll see a lot of comments saying like, "Oh, you saved my life. I was at the brink of like ending my own life, but I heard this song and I stopped doing that." Or like, this song reminds me of my late mother who passed away from cancer or something like that. This song reminds me of my lover and my toxic relationship, but how I got that from, there's so many anecdotes and so many episodes in the comment section, and like people love this song. Like it's a beloved song. People love this artist as well, right? So that's the context. This is the type of song we're dealing with over here. And then if you go into like the comments of the controversy itself, so this is from a viral short that got over like 1 million views about the Cortis and Hanrodo controversy. I'll just basically try to like translate them from number one over here. So like, how dare you make a song like that has original meaning of not let's not end our own lives, like it's talking about suicide. How dare you transition that into counting money? That has no respect towards the original artist's intention of the song. The second one over here says, "Oh, you guys really need to stop. Youngkook itself was kind of uncanny, but then like we just thought it was like fun because you guys are very young. But now if you keep on going with these type of lyrics, it's gonna get endless and it's gonna be really low class." And then the third one over here says like, "Oh, this is just the level of like high school teenagers, guys, and these boys are just like, they're on an artist high, so they don't really know the lines and they're just doing whatever the heck they want." The fourth one over here says like, "Oh, this is definitely not for respect. They put it in the lyrics just to technically get the rhymes right, and that itself, that means like they knew that it's gonna go viral because they know how popular they are, and they put it there. And that thought itself makes them very like it is shame on you, stuff like that." And this comment over here says like, "What do you mean adding zero to zero in your bank accounts? And then you literally said you're becoming retarded, so you became retarded." This one over here says like, "The fact that you put the word retarded in the lyrics is very unfavorable. And like even if it's music, how could you put like such a derogatory expression?" Now here, like there's room for translations. Personally, for me, 저는 would mean just stupid, but then like the word stupid itself has that negative connotation. So like people are kind of like, seeing it in different angles over here. Like some people are adding a little bit more onto it and saying it's like retarded. Some people might say it's just stupid or low IQ. Get it right. And then last comment over here says, "Oh, if you actually see Hanro's past interviews, she stated that she doesn't like her songs being used in ways that she did not intend, like in weird ways." That's an obvious statement from her. And Zero Plus Zero, that song, means people like us that have nothing, two of them meet, and then we both both dream of eternity, like, or peace together. Like young is like wordplay from zero zero. Zero is young in Korean, right? So like those are the lyrics of the original song Zero Plus Zero. And the fact that Cortis used those lyrics of Hanrodo would give the wrong idea of the original song, that it's a song about money or something like that. And like now the situation has escalated. So Hanoro, Hanoro was just existing over here, and then she didn't intend for anything like this to happen, and Cortis just decided to do it one-sidedly. And then, like, obviously she's gonna say it's okay, because, like, what is she gonna actually have beef with Cortis? So, like, these are the comments. There's a shit ton of comments in all of these viral shorts that I've shown you before. Now, I'm telling you, the situation is pretty bad. Like, people are pissed. People are like, that this is a no-no. Like, you chose the wrong song. You chose the wrong artist to, like, either if it's a shout out or just using as a rhyme. Like, this is disrespectful as F. I don't know what your guys' opinions are, but leave it in the comments. But anyways, what happened afterwards is, so, like, I guess Cortis noticed that this was going on. So they came out themselves. They were like, the member Keonho actually came out with a statement, and he said, like, shout out to Hanoro 선배님, and then, like, he was like, oh, I really immersed into your songs while I was starting reading books, and then your songs are like poems, so as a listener I could really just immerse my own feelings and emotion, like, experience in it. I really want to write such good lyrics like yours. So I really listen to your songs all the time with my friends in the car, and I really thank you for making such beautiful lyrics. We shouted out you in our own song this time, and that's because we wanted to respect you even more. This is, like, yeah, sincerely, something like that. And please, I hope, and this last line over here, he said this last line over here, it's like, oh, we hope this this statement, or this chat, or I don't know, like, it's like, we hope these words, yeah, we hope these words can reach 선배님. So, like, this was from Keonho, right? Like, he wrote, like, we really respect you. We used it as a shout out, and I really love your lyrics. They're beautiful, and we hope these words reach you. So, but this also triggered another series of hate, and I guess maybe valid criticism even. The people, the public was like, "Oh my gosh, they're not apologizing. There's no I apologize, or I'm sorry, I feel regretful, or anything like this." They literally said it's a shout out, and also the fact that they said, "I hope this reaches you." Like, she like he didn't really, like, contact her directly or anything like that, and he just said, like, oh, I hope this, like, the internet, sends this over to you. I personally don't see that much fault in this, but because of the whole context, and because of the whole uproar, I do think, the public has already seen, like, this these words in a negative connotation. But anyways, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, this definitely means then, like, they didn't even get permission from Hanro, or never even, like, talked about it to her, like, saying, like, oh, can we include you in our lyrics or anything like that? This is the first time they're actually talking. They don't have any links to each other." So yeah, that was going on. So Kono put up this statement, and then right after, Hanro responded to that, and this is her statement. So it's a long statement. I won't translate the whole thing, but the first line, she's very witty. Like, she's like, "Oh, I'm a nurkuku." Like, she referenced Cortis's youngkuku as well. Like, I'm an oldie that, I've gotten a lot of people's DMs and contact that Cortis and your like, you had, like, good intents, and you shouted out me, or, like, you mentioned me, my song, uh and I saw you guys, I heard that you guys like 0+0, and you follow it, and you sing to it. I really appreciate that, and blah 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 blah. Basically, she's saying it's okay. I accept it in good spirits, and I'm grateful for the mention. I hope the fans do not get too upset. And she tried to bring the controversy to a close, and she was very, like, open-minded about it, right? So she kind of, like, tried to, like, whoa, everybody, like, hold your horses, it's all right, like, I'm thankful. So yeah, like, she actually complimented them a lot, and yeah, so I mean, like, if I had to translate this part in the third paragraph over here, even to me, the Cortis members, using 0 + 0 and money, 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 is going to be a remembered moment to me. And yeah, like my thoughts. I hope like the public accepts my thoughts as well. So yeah. Anyways, I can't really translate her word for word, but she's basically saying it's all right. Mm-hmm. But then the public wasn't satisfied with this as well, too, because of the nuance here that's used in this sentence. It could be translated as, I am perceiving the mention in your new song in good intent, like in good meaning. So the word perceiving, I am perceiving, you see the ing, right? Like it's in process, and then perceive. So people are like, oh, like look at this sentence over here. So she was offended. And now, after like the word from Keonho and a lot of people's opinions on it, now she's trying and processing it in a good way. So like she was really negative about it in the first place. So because of that one sentence, a lot of people were like, "Look at that! Like, obviously, she said in the past, like that she doesn't like her songs being used and misinterpreted, and like, yeah, despite the whole message that's saying she's okay with it and she approved it, that one sentence was like, oh yeah, look at that, right? So that's basically what went on, and I have a little more left. I'm gonna tell you my opinion on it, my take on it. It's a hot take. It might get me canceled. Please protect me, guys. And I have a little bit more on how Cortis is getting so much hate right now. Other than this, there's a lot of other stuff going on in the internet. But before we go on over there, just to let you guys know, I gotta do what I gotta do, right? The KPC newsletter is here on Patreon. We're going to do the after show right away, but if you sign up as a free member, not only do you get to watch the after show for free, but you get to get these KPC newsletters every week. I give you trendy news, I give you what's going on in Korea, more social commentary about like social issues in Korea. So please check out Patreon. Also, just letting you guys know that whoever's been watching this channel from the podcast days, I'm trying to revive the podcast over here. So if you want to support me, there's a crowd fund going on ko-fi.com/KPC David Kim. We've reached 35% of the goal of $15,000. So please help me out with reviving the KPC podcast. The QR code is over here. If you're watching on TV, just scan it with your phone and drop a $2, $5, anything. That would be really, really appreciated. If you want to directly support me, here's my PayPal account over here with the QR code. Thank you so much for your donations and support. Now, okay, onto my opinion. So I'll need a lot of support, not only financial support, but emotional support for this session. So where do I stand? I honestly think, all in all, this is kind of forced hate. It feels very forced. And I'm trembling over here because I feel like the Korean side of the internet might clip me and just come and destroy me because everyone's so angry, and I feel like I just poked the beehive. But okay, let's first look at the lyrics part again. So the words like the bororo and like hanoro, and we got hororo. Obviously, if you try to reverse engineer it, it's basically for the rhymes, right? They're not trying to make fun of Hanoro per se. Like they're literally just trying to get the rhymes right, and they're trying to be playful. So like Bororo, Hanoro, Hororo. They're like we get it, right? So okay, I'm not trying to shield the whole thing with just the reasoning of the rhymes itself, but we got to understand that there are rhymes going on over here. So I just want to, that's the surface level explanation, but also like even though Cortis might be K-pop, they have a hip-hop inspiration. And in hip-hop, it's a standard procedure for borrowing lyrics or referencing other people to express something. And it's like it's like a clever punchline, right? So even I know that the song Zero Plus Zero might have significant meaning in a lot of people's emotional states and like critical situations and yeah, all that. And I do agree to some point that Cortis might have been a little bit, they should have been a little bit more careful in dissecting the actual meaning of the original song. But if you actually think about the lyrics itself, adding zero plus zero to Hanoro and then making them rhyme with Bororo and like Hororo, it's like a punchline, right? Like using the original song's title and then the original song's artist name. It goes in one line and then it rhymes with the other lines. So, to an extent, like in hip hop, they do a lot of these kind of punchlines and rhymes, and it's like a musical technique. So, when I first saw this, I honestly had no thought, even though I'm a Hanrodo fan myself. Like, I was like, oh, yeah, that's like good wordplay. That's like a good, punchline. That's just, yeah, and I was like, I actually thought it was pretty smart. I mean, a lot of Korean fans and a lot of maybe even international fans that don't agree with my statement might say like, oh no, the lyrics aren't that great. They aren't that smart. And I do have to agree. They're not like Tupac or 50 Cent or like Eminem, but like you gotta admit like there is the technicalities and the musical allocations and techniques over there, right? So I see what they're trying to do. That's the thing. Like I see the structure. And so like those are the two surface level things. And most importantly though, most importantly, now this might be talking after the results, so it might not be that valid. If I were to talk about this before Hanoro's response, I might not even be able to point this out. But I think right now in this situation where Hanoro, the artist herself, has come out and said that it's fine and she has acknowledged it and she has embraced it and she has appreciated it, saying like, oh, whatever the intent was, I respect it and I like you guys too, like thank you for doing it. I think everyone should now move on. I know like music is universal and it's for everyone, so everyone has a part in it and they have their own interpretations and they have their own ties with it. I have special songs to me as well too. Like if I guess like in reverse psychology, like in a reverse example, maybe like an American rapper that's like not that doesn't know anything about BTS suddenly came out with my special song from BTS is Spring Day, right? If someone came out with a BTS reference in their rap line just out of the blue without knowing the song's explanation, like knowing the deep meaning behind Spring Day, and they just use Spring Day because they wanted to use it as a juxtaposition of seasons or something like that, and then they said like, oh, my bank account springs like Spring Day from BTS. I feel like a lot of people might get mad, so I understand where it's coming from. But then, at the end of the day, the artist came out and said, like, even if it's, in a progressing tone, like she said, it's okay. So I think at that point, the case is closed. I know, like, even if the original person comes out and says that it's okay, like the listeners might not be satisfied because it has so much meaning to them. But at this point, if you go on further and hate Cortis, I think you're doing extra. I think you're just overreacting and just nitpicking just for the sake of hating Cortis from this point on. The timing is very important. Before Hanrodo came out, maybe it might have been valid to a lot of people, right? So that's my point of view. And about Kono's response, I do think that was a little bit premature because I think it would have been best if they reached out to Hanoro herself directly. I think they definitely would have the connections to do that. Like we're talking about Big Hit Music and Hive, right? And they're Cortis and she's Hanoro. So I think the best gesture would have been direct communication. The best case scenario might have been like contacting her even before releasing the lyrics and saying like, oh, we're trying to like, do some playful wordplay over here. Is it okay to maybe reference you in the lyrics? And people might think this is like too polite or Confucianist, but that's how Korean society is. Like care a lot about morals, and I know some of you might scoff and eye roll like morals, you guys like hate on to the extent where people commit suicide. But I know, but like deep down in our history and culture, morals and ethics are very important, and politeness and respect towards your 선배님 is really ingrained in our culture. So I think the best case scenario would have been, contacting her pre-condition, and even trying to like address this issue. I think he should have maybe directly contacted her, and then Hanoro might have put out a statement saying, "Oh, Cortis contacted me and they explained the situation, and they, I was totally cool about it. Now we're all good. Like, please stop hating on them." Then that would have been a great picture. So I think that path was a little, it was a little bumpy over there, and I think it could have been better. But then it's a learning process, and at the end of the day, even though they have a PR label and all, like Cortis is known for their independence and them being like the actual driving factor of their music and their activities. So yeah, like I think them being relatively young, still in their teenage days, it's a learning process, and the fact that Kono used like very smooth and like favorable and positive words towards her was a respectful gesture. But to be to be fair, it could have been done better, right? So yeah, that's about it for my stance. But like as I said before, at this point on, people hating Cortis and just dragging them on and on for this one set of lyrics, I think, yeah, that it's not that deep. It's not that deep. Yeah, they just did wordplay over a reference, and it was a punchline, and yeah, it just ends there, right? So I might get slaughtered by Hanoro fans. I might get slaughtered by Korean fans, but yeah, 저 한국인입니다. 저 재미교포도 아니고 건모회도 아니고 저 한국인 Korean입니다. Oh yeah, like people don't like me saying Korean. Just to emphasize, 한국에서 아, 발음이 이상하게 나오는데 지금 영어랑 한국어 섞어서서 저 한국에서 지금 30년째 살고 있고 초중고대 다 나왔어요. I was just explaining that I'm actually Korean because every time I see in the comments from Korean people, oh, this Korean American that knows nothing about our historical culture or context and doesn't even live here, always sides with the international community and he knows nothing. 한국인입니다. So I really need to clarify. But yeah, that's just my stance. I think it is what it is at the end of the day. It's not actually that deep. Hanoro said it's okay, so case closed. But yeah, as I told you, what's going on with the additional hate is like you got to understand that this was just not a single event that occurred. So there was a buildup towards this. Actually, as you can see of the title of this video right now, this live stream, as I said, the Cortis hate is going out of control, is getting out of control because Cortis, I think they were an instant success, right? With Fashion, Go, every one of their songs were major bangers, hits like Red, all of them. They were Artist of the Year, Rookie of the Year, so Rookie of the Year, and yeah, like because they got into superstardom so fast. Obviously, there were a lot of haters too. A lot of people were nitpicking on their stuff, but there was a lot of buildup on the hate on the way. There were minor controversies about like airplane stuff and blah 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 blah, and but I think the biggest trigger before this incident was when they did their own concert, their recent concert. So they're doing like a world tour right now, but the Korean leg of the concert, which they did in Incheon, apparently it was like 100 minutes concert, and then the price was at like $120 or something like that. That's a standard price for Korean concerts. A BTS concert was the same price, and but like people were like 100 minutes. First of all, is very short, and even among the 100 minutes, like you see the title over here, this was actually on the news as well too. They did 5 Youngkook performances, and they did Red 4 times, and people were like, if you don't have enough songs, either do the concerts when you're ready, when you have like a packed discography, Or you could cover other songs from your Hanbes like BTS or Tomorrow by Together or whatever. You can make special stages and make special effort for the fans who paid $220 to come all the way to Incheon, where the transportation was apparently shit. And like rather than repeating Youngkook and Red Red like over 5 and 4 times respectively. So people are like, what kind of concert is this? And apparently the people, so it became an internal war too because of the concert reviews. Like people who are on the older side, like I guess my age, like in their 30s or late 20s, were super mad about the concert in general. And the younger folks, like maybe from the teenage to the early 20s, they were like, "Oh, this is so fresh. This is like the new concert boom. Put your phone down." And the intent by doing like Youngkook 5 and 4 times was like, let's all enjoy it, let's all hype up, let's get this energy going, like stop filming, like you've already filmed it already, right? That was the intent. But then like the folks on like the 20s, mid 20s, older like early 30s, they're like, this is not how you do concerts. This is not worth my money, and I don't want to hear the same song over again for 5 times, 4 times. So there was a lot of backlash on this, and because of this backlash, it was not only because of the concert composition itself, but it was because how Cortis responded to this. Apparently, a lot of people were expecting them to address this situation in a very polite and polished manner where like, oh, we acknowledge the fact that you weren't satisfied with our set list and we did repetitive songs, and maybe they might have like revealed the thought process behind it. We just wanted to have fun or something like that, and maybe even like a slight apology, saying like, "Oh, we'll try to do better next time. We'll try to add more songs and like provide more value." Blah blah blah. But then the response was not in that kind of tone. They actually kind of, yeah, they stuck to their stand. They took their stance, and they were like, yeah, they basically the way they addressed the whole situation, people thought it had an attitude problem regarding the response, and yeah, so people were kind of pissed about that. So that went viral in a negative way, and it circulated on the internet already. That was a huge controversy, and now this happened. So people were already on the negative side. They already had like a yellow card, and then this Hanroro thing emerged, and then this is like their red card moment. Ironically, no pun intended, red, red. Um, but yeah, so this happened. That's basically the gist of everything. Um, as for the concert issues, I mean, yeah, I see both sides. I see both sides. It's not orthodox. It's not like, but I tried to understand it. I tried to be more open-minded, and I was like, yeah, like this is fresh. I wasn't at the scene, but if I were actually there, like imagination wise, I'd be like, yeah, I have fun. It's like a club, where everybody's like jumping. Like that isn't that how concerts are supposed to be, rather than they just like sitting down and like doing this robotically, right? You're just all jumping together, and young red, red, like everybody dancing, right? So I see their intent. Maybe 5 to 4 times is a little bit too much, but yeah, I think both sides have a point in that. But right now, because of this, I feel like Cortis is getting a lot of unexpected hate. It's true that they're getting criticized back and forth, left and right. They're on the news. I don't think it's a big issue. I think it's just gonna brush away if you give it a little time. But the shorts and the reels are permanent, and it's very good bait for the other fandoms as well, like the antis or just in general other fandoms that don't like Cortis's music or think they're overhyped or something like that. I see the narrative from a lot of the public and the other fans or whoever they are, all of them collectively saying like, "Oh, the fans are the problem too." Like putting them on a pedestal, saying like they're these prodigies that are so creative, when you can obviously Big Hit Music is kind of trying to mold them in that way, image make them into like these prodigies, like they self-produce all their music 100% and like direct their own music videos and choreographies. Like, you got to be so naive to actually believe that shit. And like everyone's like throwing that narrative at the moment and saying like the fans are actually spoiling them. These kids have risen to superstardom too quick. They're putting out songs like Money 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 at like the age of 18 years old. That's not normal, and they've gotten too hot-headed. And people are spinning these kind of narratives. I don't I don't agree. Like that's the nature of becoming an idol. Like you make it or you don't. Like it's a high risk, high return thing. And their songs are good. They got good chemistry. I like them. They're funny and they're making trends. So it's just like yeah, what they created, they're getting back. So and there are going to be superstars all over the world at those ages too. There's like Justin Bieber for, a thing. I do fear, I don't want to like jinx anything or like, yeah, but I do fear that, you see a lot of cases when people rise to superstardom in such a young age, like mentally, some people get unfragile. Um, fragile, not unfragile. Why did I say unfragile? Fragile, or like it kind of gets into their mental health. You've seen that with Justin Bieber for a phase too. Um, but yeah, like other like, and right now, like with the situation of them getting so much criticism, I mean, I'm a mere YouTuber that had an 800K channel, and now I'm doing like 60K, and I see one hate comment on my comment section saying like, "Oh, you're so whatever." And that gets stuck in my head for the whole day. I'm only thinking about that in the shower before I go to bed, and that's just the psychology of a human being. I really relate in a micro level, even in a micro level like me. So the amount of hate and criticism that's going on the internet right now, circulating for these young and growing minds, I fear that it might get into their heads too much, and it might, constrict their creative freedom or their open-mindedness. And that's one concern I have. And ultimately, it might even affect their mental health. I really don't want that to happen. But that's basically the situation. Yeah, I hope it was crystal clear. I dissected it easily for you guys. I hope you understand both points. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Before I move on to the after show, let me read back uh, into the comments, the real-time chat comments over here, read some, and then go straight over to the after show over here. I saw a super chat from Aaron. Thank you for the $2. 감사합니다. David, that was the coffee cup I was talking about. Yeah, the Tay cup. Yeah. Mm. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. All right, let's go and read some comments over here. Uh, let's see. First world problems. The lyrics even ain't that bad. Let's see. It's capitalism. We all want to make money. It's just like, yeah, candid lyrics. Let me guess, people are in an uproar over something silly. I guess, yeah. I fundamentally think it's something silly, and it's like people should have better things to do. But you know, if you actually think of the song Zero Plus Zero, and if you like think of it as an equivalent of my Spring Day, and I have so much attachment to Spring Day, and it has so much meaning to me, and a random artist that you don't know suddenly references it in a totally different way just for the sakes of like wordplay, then I might get a little triggered. So like I understand a little bit, yeah, of the sentiment, but overall I think it's silly. Yeah. Uh, let's see. Hanoro is cute, not gonna lie. Music is art. People need to stop being so sensitive. Jungkook mentioned this song, and I like it. So Hanoro rose to stardom not only because she's a super talented and super sweet person and like very great vocals, very emotional. She actually graduated from 국문학과, which is like Korean literature. So she practiced writing poems and lyrics. So she's self-made. She's the indie icon. She's the indie queen at the moment. She got shouted. So not only that, but also she got shouted out by so many artists including RM of BTS. RM shouted out her on his own Instagram, saying like, "Oh, on repeat, he's listening to her." Also, Channabi. Also, people like who was it? Chanhyuk from Angmu. All these musicians were like, "Oh, Hanuro is great." And then, as I said, she was the opener for the Coldplay concert in Korea, so you can see her status over here. So yeah, she's very respected, and she is like I wouldn't say this is like the one-to-one direct analogy, but she's on the trajectory of becoming like the post IU. Because like one indicator is like IU did this collaborative song called Noe Uimi with a Korean legend, Kim Changwon from the Sanulin band, and that was a huge honor for IU. But now the third person that did the collab and sang together with Kim Changwon for that song, Your Meaning, 너의 의미, was Hanroro. So people are like, oh wow, Kim Changwon actually agreed to sing that together with Hanroro. Like, it feels like, everyone in the music scene in Korea is, acknowledging her musical talent and like her great lyrics. Yeah, so that's the status of her here. And yeah, Tiana says so they took a beloved, meaningful song and transferred the lyrics into a fun floss track. Yeah. People on the internet are like guardians of moral now. If the artist is okay, who are they to criticize, honestly? Yeah. Um, let's see. But Hanoro says she's been a core since debut and that the lyrics mean no harm. Yeah, exactly. So I said, like, from this point on, it doesn't matter. But then you also see where Army nowadays, like, some of them, are disappointed with the Gemini and the Chris Brown issue. And they're like, oh, this is where I ended. Like, oh, I can distinguish my love towards the guys, but also I can criticize them at the same time. So you being a fan doesn't mean like you 100% like have to like everything that person puts out. So I guess for Hanoro, like for the people who interpreted her words saying like, oh yeah, she's saying it's okay, but obviously because like what else is she gonna say? Is she gonna say like, oh, you were disrespectful, you were shit, like I want you to delete that song? She's not gonna say that, right? Like, yeah, that has a point too. And then people were saying like, oh, she's trying to perceive the song in a good way. That comment shows that she was kind of dissatisfied in the beginning, but that's also putting words into her mouth. I think, like, I think that's over analyzing, maybe. um this is a non-issue. Haters are gonna hate, says Gen. Unfortunately, it is an issue. I mean, like it or not, it is an issue. Because of the gravity of it and because of the traffic it is creating right now. Yeah. So yeah, why would they apologize when it was a shout out to begin with? I just explained it throughout this whole video. Um, I hope Hybe sues them all. Sues them for what? They're like, this is not a legal issue. Um, this is not a legal issue. There's no grounds to sue anyone over here. Like the people aren't like creating false rumors, or they're not defaming Cortis. They're not like sexually harassing them or anything. They're literally just mad about the lyrics. So I don't think there's anything to sue uh the comments about. We won't cancel David. I believe in you guys, but the problem is the outside. So I hope this doesn't spread too much. Yeah, people are so dramatic about this. It should have ended with Hanrodo's statement. I agree. It's stretching, I guess, as Sarah. Seems forced hate to me too, says Pleasant Nice. And let's see, Cortis is liked in the US. Cortis is liked everywhere. Cortis is loved in Korea too. But the thing is, like, they've gotten too popular so fast. Now everybody's eyeballs are on them, and then like they made like these series of moves that have been questionable and debatable to, I guess, a substantial amount of people. So yeah. Yeah, people are forgetting these guys are 17-year-olds. Exactly. That's why I said it's a learning process. Yeah. And then people would argue, well, they have Hype and Big Hit Music behind them. They have a whole ass team and PR professionals. blah 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 blah. So yeah, you can't win at the end. I think everyone, each side has valid points, and it's just ping pong, ping pong. And that's why I feel like this is just all gonna, go on. We're just gonna go on, and just like every other K-pop controversy, all their tracks are good, says Mullen. Sorry, they don't fit into the box for traditional. Yeah, they're definitely not traditional in the sense regarding music. I really like their music too, but I do agree to some extent, to the point like I really thought like Go Fashion and Red Red and their other songs, Joyride, and there are a bunch of other songs. They're nice. Yeah. Money Money, Youngkook, um, I don't I don't know, not a little bit not my taste, to be honest, but I think it's a fun song, and they're just breaking the mold of the standardized music structure we have, and it's very Gen Z, maybe even Gen Alpha, so it's a fresh turn in music, I would say. But the comments that are saying, if they go too far, if they go into like the abyss of like, putting like overusing 6767 or brain rot stuff, at one point people are going to get tired of that, and we've been seeing that unfold for a while now, and I have no jurisdiction over their creative freedom, and as much as I respect it, as a little casual and older listener of Cortis, and I like them, it'd be great if they have more songs like Joyride, or more emotional songs, and I feel like there is going to be a phase for them, and it's maybe not their time right now. They're waiting for their mature moment. Like you saw how TXT's music changed, and Hypen's music changed, BTS's music changed throughout the albums and time. So I think if we give them enough time, they might give us more variety. But I do feel like there's a little bit of a sentiment where people are like, "Oh, this is getting over the top now." Like, with all the Bororo, the Hanoro, Hororo, like Palangi, Palangi. You know what I'm saying, right? So, yeah. I know, I just know that they're super talented people, and they can pull off all kinds of songs, but like this is the phase they're in, and this is what hits right now. So I'm totally behind them. I totally back their music right now. Um yeah, I liked your Chris Brown analogy. The same people criticizing BTS about Chris Brown will still follow BTS and listen to their music. Funny how you can like an artist but not like everything they do. Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, this just seems like parasocial hate, to be honest. There's no reason for this to spiral out of control as much as it is. Yeah. Listen to What's Up and Blue Lips. I will. I think I've given her hear of it, but obviously when I do like the full listens, I focus mostly on the hype songs because I'm a hype person. Yeah, like I love all Big Bang's, you know, um, discographies, but the most obviously the ones that will stand out generations after generations are the songs like Bang Bang Bang, Fantastic Baby, Crooked, Lies, all of those bangers, right? Um, yeah, thanks for explaining. I personally don't get it, but I understand better now. Thanks. What I don't understand is why the main media are giving sired time to this topic, says Bodyboard Koala. It's 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 basically because they got clout. Bottom line, Cortis is the hottest name out there, undeniably. Nobody in Korea is gonna deny like Cortis is like the biggest rookie group out there. And yeah, they generate so much fame that they go against even their own corporate, colleagues. Like Le Sserafim, was it, or was it another group? Like they came back at the same time, and Cortis's music was doing so good for such a long time that like Hybe, I think, planned to kind of give the torch to Le Sserafim. I think it was a girl group with their new song, but then Cortis's music just like outshined them all. So, like everyone knows Red Red, everyone talks about them, and obviously the news is going to get a lot of views if they talk about Cortis. And at the same time, Hanoro is, I would arguably say, like at least to the Korean public, at the same level of Cortis. If anything, like even higher, like it's considering the amount of love and the amount of time she has been around and the amount of festivals she attends to. So like she has a lot of mature viewers and listeners that love her music that really heals your heart. So really just check out Hanoro. She's just amazing. Like yeah, and it's gonna be really hard because her lyrics are very poetic, but they're all in Korean. So a lot of people, they're like, this is such an interesting positioning because I think the issue is even amplified because of the fact that Cortis is like the new gen using like their very Gen Alpha, Gen Z kind of lyrics, and Hanoro is like that artist that has very poetic and very like Korean based, Korean core lyrics. And people, I saw a lot of people in the comments saying like, "Oh, Hanoro is a fresh breath to the K-pop and the Korean music scene because we've been seeing Korean music becoming so westernized, so much English based, and so much like broken down into acronyms and abbreviations. I was tired of that shit, and now we have like this, female solo indie artist that's bringing up like Korean poetic lyrics. That's all 100% Korean. That's like beautifully written. So people are like, oh shit, this is the stuff we needed. So the direct contrast, I mean, I guess Cortis should get a lot of credit points because the reason I love Cortis even more than other rookie groups or other K-pop groups is the fact that they have a lot of Korean aspect in their music videos and their lyrics as well compared to other groups nowadays. But yeah, like Hanuro is like on the like rear end of that spectrum, if you know what I'm saying, right? So the positioning over there to the public that doesn't know Cortis that much is going to actually see that kind of different contrast over there. So yeah, this clash is like a fun, angle for the news to talk about. Hmm. Yes. Could this controversy be a PR stunt? No. This is an organic thing that happened. It is not a PR stunt. I can assure you that because yeah. No. Like who would have created this? Like who is the mastermind behind this pulling like who is this beneficial for? Who is this yeah, there's no way this is a PR stunt from my observation. Yeah. When would this be over? I think if you give it a week, I think people forget. If Cortis, yeah, just like keeps on treading, keeps on doing good stuff like with their world tour and their concerts, like people are gonna stop. But like, it's risky because like there's gonna be footage every time they do a concert, and if they keep that like the LED panel in the back with Hanro keep on showing, yeah, it might go on for a while. But I think the whole craziness and the gravity of it, the actual magnitude of it is going to die down uh, soon enough. So, as I said, I don't think it's that much of a big issue. I don't think anybody would be watching up to this point. So I just think it's a no big deal. Yeah, I think to be honest, even though I like Hanoro's music so much. Yeah, she's like Bull 4 or IU. Yeah, she's just really talented. Yeah. Okay. David glazing Cortis because of his Hive stock? No, like Cortis isn't gonna do shit for my Hive stock right now. Hive stock is down minus 56% and I want to die. So if you really can support me on Patreon, that would be really appreciated because I need every penny at the moment. Okay, so this is no jokes, dead serious. If you've been tuning into my live streams for the past 2 weeks, or if you listen to my exclusive podcast on Patreon, I really had a panic attack, anxiety, and I had hyperventilation. I really wanted to unalive myself. And yeah, I'm saying this casually because it was a phase and it was like a sudden peak that just hit me all of a sudden because of the whole stock crash. But yeah, I literally was feeling suicidal like a few weeks ago. And yeah, I've already said this. Maybe you've not heard this news if you haven't tuned in recently, and it's really hard to address like these kind of things online, but like I feel like it's venting is better. But yeah, I've recovered to some extent, but then the dark thoughts slowly like intrude my mind here and there because the stock market hasn't rebounded that much. My Hive stocks are down like 60% still, and I've put my whole net worth into it. It's down like minus 200K or something like that. So I really like am feeling like I'm in a swamp that I can never escape. Um, yeah, I don't know where I was leading to, but like that's oh yeah, so that was my situation. And actually before this whole controversy occurred, the week after where I got that depression peak, that sudden peak, I listened to Hanrono's music and I actually got that really healing effect of like, you know, her saying like it's okay. Like there's a song called like 사랑하게 될 거야 from her, and it's a message to your past self saying like, you know, whatever you've done in the old days, and you know, like, you know, the turbulence and like the lows and the bad situations, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna love your past self. It's gonna be all right. We all live through anxiety, and nobody knows about the future. And I listened to a lot of her music, and I got really like soothed, and it really like, you know, suppressed my anxiety and my like dark thoughts a lot. So yeah, I have a lot of attachment to the songs as well. Like she really has that effect. But yeah, so. Anyways, yeah, we've been going on for an hour so far. Don't say that. YouTube might flag you. Well, let them flag me. Yeah, I don't care. Like I just, yeah, that's my thought. So, um, yeah. So why is it down though? Well, obvious. I don't think a lot of people would be interested, but like I made a lot of money out of Hype, and it corrected for a while. Like 20%. I felt like it was right before BTS was launching their world tour, and I was like, oh, once they launch their world tour, their earnings are gonna be massive. It's gonna be astronomical. So I only see it up going high. Like logically thinking, right? If a company's earnings explode, the stock is about supposed to go up. But apparently, the stock market is an illogical place. So after BTS launched their world tour, the analysts and the market perceived it as the end of the hype. They were like, "Oh, all the good stuff is all exposed now. We all know the expected earnings." So that was all the hype that was accumulated on the uptrend. Now we don't have anything that's going to beat BTS's records and their sales with the world concert. We all know that the world concert is going to happen. So, like, let's all sell, 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 sell. And then with the AI stock crash, the bubble burst for a while, a mini bubble burst with Samsung and everything. So that triggered it even further. And yeah, Wall Street started just batch selling Korean stocks, and here we are today where Hive stocks are at like almost an all-time low, and I am struggling. I have a lot of semiconductor stocks. I have a lot of Hive. Uh, this is the this is the Hive stock chart right now. We are here. I got in here. So yeah, that's that. Anyways, it was basically a sell-on event. But yeah, that was the whole situation about Cortis and Hanoro. My closing comment will be go stream Cortis and Hanoro. They are amazing artists. I don't think people should be fighting over this shit. It's not that deep. Yeah, just go stream Cortis and Hanoro both. Yeah. All right. So, just reminding you that we will be going on to the after show over here. Oh, and reminding you, like, if you want to support me over here, QR code scan. If you enjoyed this stream, yeah. But we have the after show over here where we'll be watching throughout Cortis's content. I'm catching up with Cortis content. I just figured, like, you know what, like I watch it regularly anyways. Let's watch them together. So all you have to do is click on the link in the chat box right now, or the description, or the pinned comment to the after show. I'll just type it for you guys. Yeah, this is the after show website. Here you go. Here's the link. I'm just spamming the link, and y'all can just join the stream. You can just join the stream, and we will be able to enjoy Chorus together. We'll be checking out their music videos and their performances. So yeah, come on over to the after show. It's free. Just sign up as a free member. And just letting you guys know, this link is now I mean, I need to refresh the stream. So if you go onto the link, some might show, it might show and appears like the stream has ended or something like that. Just refresh it after like 30 seconds once I launch the actual stream, and then it'll redirect you to the stream that's ongoing. All right. So yeah, hopefully you can all join the after show. And before we end the stream, OT7, thank you so much for the $5. Hang in there. You're worth more than Hive stock. Thank you so much. 감사합니다. 감사합니다. Okay.